Today I'm taking on the challenge of trying to get my electric Land Cruiser registered in the state of Colorado as an EV. It's going about as well as I expected. I'm having a chat with the DMV lady and they're telling me generic answers. So I'm probably going to end up calling one of these phone numbers. But anyway, that's my goals for today. So I'm going to take you through all the steps on how you change your registration from a gasoline powered vehicle that requires emissions testing every 2 years to an electric vehicle which requires no emissions testing, and you get a little sticker that says you're an EV, lets you park at public chargers. So now they're telling us it's not part of the original vehicle. VIN verification is needed. Okay, so we're going to keep going through this. Okay, so I guess that's it. I just have to get a VIN verification and go to the DMV with the title. I'm interested to see how this is going to work out because remember that silver Toyota pickup truck that I had? I did take that to get a VIN verification when I brought it back to Colorado. And the lady at the emissions place, I told her it was an electric conversion and she just looked at me like I was a Martian or something. She had no idea what I was talking about. Maybe she thought I had electric windows or something. Like that's how she looked. And she marked it gasoline on the form and she didn't even pop the hood or nothing. And I tried to talk to her about it and, you know, ask her like what's going on. And she just kind of like literally this woman just gave one word answers and just stared at me. And so I just left. Like I didn't have time to deal with it that day. But now it's my Land Cruiser, which I care a lot about. So we have to do it right. So I might go back to that same location with that same lady and see what happens. But this time I'll be definitely more forceful in stating that it's converted to electric. So anyway, that's what I got to do. VIN verification and then go to the DMV with the title and then basically re-register it. So that actually seems pretty simple. I thought I was going to have to go to multiple places, but sounds pretty simple. So let's go do that. Oh, actually today we can't because it's like 2 degrees out or the 0 Fahrenheit, and the emissions places are closed because it's too cold, I guess. So we'll do that later this week, tomorrow. We're driving down to the sheriff's office. We're gonna go there to get a VIN inspection. I decided to go there because I had bad luck at the emissions testing center. So we'll go to the sheriff's office and they'll do a VIN inspection for me. And hopefully it all works out smoothly and they check off the box that it's an EV. So I'm taking the back roads. There's the highway down there. But instead of the highway, I'm taking the frontage road, and I'm going to take the back way up behind the hog back there. So I'll have a nice little scenic cruise over to the sheriff's station. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's only about 10 degrees to 15 degrees out. I had my battery charging for like the last couple hours because I drove it around yesterday. And so I'm up at like 90%, but I thought it was going to warm the battery up a little bit more. We're leaving house with only about 20 degrees Fahrenheit in the battery packs. I'd like that ideally to be above freezing, as warm as possible. Really, up to 90 degrees to 100 degrees Fahrenheit is the optimum temperature. So when they're low temperature, they can't deliver the amount of current and voltage. Most importantly, they can't deliver the capacity. You lose a lot of capacity with the cold battery. So I'm taking the back roads. We're going slow, only 35 miles an hour or so, but running smooth, quiet, and with the sunny sky, I don't have to worry about the heater because the cab of the truck is still pretty warm. So let's go to the sheriff's office. Usually you can see deer or other wildlife up here. We're going downhill before we climb back up this road up there again, the other side. But I've been trying to keep, I'm just looking at the voltage and Leaf Spy, and I'm trying to keep the voltage of the battery, each cell above 3.6. I'm getting a call. Scam likely. I'm trying to keep the voltage above 3.6 volts per cell because then you don't suffer as much capacity loss from, and also for the cells it's easier on them. They aren't put under as much stress. So we're going downhill, regenning, and yeah, everything's good so far. Turn, and then we're going to drive up mountain past Red Rocks. There's a noise limit in this city. In this little town, there's a noise limit. If you've seen that, it's really because of the Harley Davidson crowd, if you know what I mean. But it'll apply to all vehicles. If you are revving your engine or you're driving too loud in town, they'll give you a ticket. Don't have that problem with the EV. All right, here's Red Rocks up to the left. There's also EV chargers way up at the top of the hill at Red Rocks. There's EV chargers, public chargers, which is handy. That's a tip if you are coming to a concert here. You can skip the line because usually the cars park all the way out here to the road, and you got to walk a long ways. But there's EV charging up there. You can skip the line, but it fills up fast, as you can imagine. Starting a long uphill slog towards the top of the hill. This is the highest elevation I think that we're gonna get on our little journey, and I'm just going slow because we were just down around 3.5 3.6 volts per cell. So as we get up to more and more up the hill, I'm just easing off the throttle. There's nobody behind me. It's a clear road, so and I'm in the right lane anyway, so no harm going slow. We're just gonna ease it up and make sure the battery is in good shape. Nobody behind me. So we're only going about 20 miles an hour. We're down to 71%. This is the range on this truck is not good. I'm gonna have to put a new battery or another battery, a second battery at least, because man, it's only 11-mile drive and I'm sweating already. Alright, so we're easing in this little valley, and then we got one little more rise, and then it's pretty much all downhill from there, so the hard part's over. Alright, we just crested the hill. We were down to like 3.58 volts there, and I was just easing her up, but we made it over. So also I should say that this isn't really a daily thing that you should be worried about. It's just that last night, the last couple days, it's been extremely cold here, like 0 degrees and below Fahrenheit, and haven't been driving the truck. And if you drive your EV every single day, then the battery is going to heat up to a temperature and it's going to maintain that thermal, that heat like overnight. I used to drive a Nissan Leaf, and even on these sub-zero nights, the battery never got below like 70 or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. If you drove it every single day, because during the day when you're driving it, it heats up and it warms up, and when you charge it, it heats up and it warms up. So it's always having energy put into it when you're using it, and it's just a big chunk of metal, so it holds the heat. I tried to let this person pass and they didn't pass, so they're going to be stuck behind me. It's their own fault. See if we can do a semi-coast down this hill, maybe just build up some speed and put a little energy in the battery, and heat mostly, down to 68%. Only like 1 or 2 miles left. We're pretty close now. Alright, we're just about here. You can see that big building there. That's what they call the Taj Mahal, and the sheriff's office is right next to it, so we're just almost there. I can almost taste it. We're at 68% battery, so we've got about 10 miles from home. There's the requisite obelisk, and here we are at the government center, and we're gonna go down here. I think I remember how to get down there. I think that's it there. That's the jail, and where we're going, the sheriff's office, to get our VIN verification. We made it. 66% is all downhill. There we are, Sheriff's Complex. So I think I've got to go down the hill. That's the jail. Down the hill's where we need to go. Yep, right here. I got it. Look at that, 1996 Toyota Land Cruiser. It's electric. How cool is that? So he mixed up the VIN with, I think he just wrote it down wrong. And also this truck has a different driver's door, and some other panels are different because it was in a couple accidents. And I think he got the wrong VIN number. And then also he was looking at a different license plate on his phone, or on his camera from a BMW. And he was like, what kind of trap are you trying to pull here, Jim? And he's like, that license plate does not belong on that vehicle. And this is kind of one of the reasons I didn't want to come to the sheriff's office, is because they're going to do a thorough inspection, if you know what I mean. And so anyway, he was just like, oh, I'm sorry, it's my mistake. And he figured out that he had been looking at the wrong photos and everything. So anyway, it's electric now officially. Also, that sheriff, he's retiring. Today is his last day, and so he's retiring tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, of course, there's always got to be something on my last day. So it was a pretty funny experience. But man, that was cool. So he didn't really do much. He verified the VIN more than he verified it was electric. I popped the hood and I showed him, like, you know, there's the battery, there's the other stuff, and there's no engine in it. And he was like, yep, there's no engine in it. And that was the extent of his inspection. Outside of just, you know, cursory glance under the hood, I don't even think he really cared what components were what. Outside of that, he was totally happy to sign off on it. So right now we're gonna make it home, I think. Otherwise we'll stop at a charger, but so far so good. Okay, I decided I'm not gonna risk it. We're gonna be here at the public charger, and I'm down to 54%. I could totally make it home because I'm at the very top of the highest hill, several hundred feet higher than my house. But it's just on account of the cold battery and, you know, being a homemade electric car and all that. I'm not going to push it today, so let's plug in and get my charge on. Okay, Turbo Dock, EV charging, scan code or download app to operate. Okay, it's another one of those app ones. I got to get going here. All right, well, never mind. I just plugged it in because I was bored with trying to get the app, and it started charging. It's only at 2.5 kilowatts, but it is charging, so I guess there's free charging here, which is awesome. So, yeah, we're only at 2.4 kilowatt, but that's all right. We'll let it charge up a little bit. I'm going to get something to eat and walk around, because that's what you do when you have an EV, is you come up with things to do while things charging. I'm going to put this in a safe spot because this is important. Okay, we made it home. Turned out I didn't need to charge at all. Would have made it home with plenty to spare. It was all downhill, like I was saying, and elevation matters a lot. Your beginning and ending elevation when you're driving an EV. Battery's up to 50 degrees, and when we left the charger, it was like 45 or something like that, so it's up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in again. I'm hoping if we can get the battery up to like maybe 60 or 70 degrees, it'll hold some of that heat overnight, and then tomorrow when I drive it around more, I'm going to go to the same place to go get my paperwork, so I might as well just take this truck again, right? So I'm hoping that if my battery is much warmer, it will perform a lot better. So that's the idea, and let's go plug it in. So thanks again for watching another episode of the Electric Land Cruiser. Big milestone accomplished today. We got our VIN verification done, and this vehicle is now in the state system as an electric vehicle. Super cool. So tomorrow we'll get the new title and registration for the vehicle with the updated information, and happy sailing after that. Thanks for watching. I got some plates here. I got some license plates. Oh, I think this is what I think it is. This is going to be cool. Oh, pulling them out. What are they? What could they be? Oh, I got get my registration out from under there. All right, what is it? Oh, cool. Electric vehicle plates. It's the new ones. How cool is that? Oh man, those are for the electric Land Cruiser. How freaking awesome do those look?